of the club in the very first division back there in Poland. And I'm really glad, I'm really honored to be here. I'm really glad to see so many glorious coaches, I hope. And let's get back, let's start with the subject that this team timeout, something that, in my opinion, we should take a more and more attention to that, especially when the time came that we are actually publicly exposed into the cameras, into the microphones. When they come up with the microphones very close to the team, that is something that didn't happen before. Now the players expect us to give some advice according to the game, giving some clues regarding the game, and this is. And the way we do it is very crucial for the efficiency of the game. Okay, let's go further. I will give you the little scenario of the lecturing. We will just go through the rules allowance. There was one thing that I didn't know actually, but I will tell you about that later. The facts, the statistical facts, and then the communication issue, which is the most important part of the presentation, the psychological background. That's something that I do at my university, as well as physiology and psychology is my areas of studies of researches at the university, a part of handball, of course, what I do practically. Am I understandable for everyone? Yes, I hope if in case that there are any questions, just please rise up, don't hesitate to raise up your hand, and we will clear up, especially that we will talk about the clarity as well. So if something is not understandable, just let me know and we will get it through. Okay, the rules allowance. The first thing that the really simple things that the team may request team timeout only when it has the possession of the ball, and so on and so on. The only thing that surprised me in here, I didn't know that for so many years, because I'm a coach for 10 or 11 years. I started with girls, then with women, and then I was still active player when I was coaching the team of the seniors. I didn't know that I cannot take 2 timeouts in one action. I don't know, that's the only thing that surprised me, and I suppose if there's anything to surprise you in this slide, in this rules allowance, that would be it, I guess. But okay, let's get further. We know that the recent change of the rules, that we cannot take the 2 timeouts in the end of this, in the end of the games, in the last 5 minutes, but we will get back to that later on. Okay, the facts. Why we do take the timeouts? We do want to initiate some actions or to provide the players instructions regarding the game or the situation. Yes, that's something that's natural, that we see the situation that our players cannot follow by, and we want to provide them with some particular solutions or just to initiate the action, whether it's gonna be in like the center section of the game, on the left or right side, and the rear backs. Whoever wants to start needs to start the action to find the solution for the defense playing of the opposite team. Then to stop negative momentum of own team. When we do the mistake after turnover and mistake after mistake, we do take the timeout just to stop it. Yes, that is the moment that sometimes we do not really know what to say, because the issues are maybe not the motivational, but the awareness and of what's going on at the court. Yes, that sometimes we say in Poland, we say that we left our heads in the locker room. Yes, sometimes it happens in the very early stage of the game, first 5 minutes, first 10 minutes. We want to stop the negative momentum of our team when we see the mistake after mistake. Then the other way around, so the stop to positive momentum of the opposite team. Yes. Our opponent is at the hot streak. They making a goal after the goal, and we want to stop it. Yes, and we all know what I mean. Yes, I hope when the game is turning on for the opponent, and then we want to stop it. We want to cut it down. We also take the timeout. Making an offense-defense substitutions. When we do provide some particular setting formation in the defense. Sometimes it happens that we need a particular one player in the defense, and we want to set the substitution. So you play in defense, you play in offense, you go directly to the bench, or you go first to the defense and then to the bench. We set the details with the players, so they know what they're supposed to do in the particular moment when we're losing the ball or when we're gaining the ball, and cool the emotions down. We've all seen the games, very emotional games, especially in the end of the game when there's a tight result, and we want to, the first reason that we take time out is to cool them down, because they are too excited about the game, too nervous about the game. That causes the mistakes. We want to cool down the game. And the one thing that is not on the list is just the motivation issues. I don't know if you follow the Bundesliga competition. Yes, there was a famous timeout took by the Lubomir Vraniec, and in the very final stage of the game, when the game was tied, he said something like that there is no tactics at all right now at this stage of competition. There is no tactics. We don't need the tactics right now. I need your, excuse me the words, excuse me ladies, I need your balls at the court, I need your heart at the court, and I need you to fight as much as you can at the court. So that's the also thing that we can do by taking the timeout. Okay, few statistics. Statistics were made by Geir Svensson, who used to be a national coach of the Icelandic team, but just before Christian Andersson took the team. The researchers are from his thesis on the master coach level. He did a fantastic job, in my opinion. He analyzed 16 teams in 48 games, and he analyzed 217 timeouts taken during the European Championships in 2016 held in Poland. And it turns out that in a game, per game, we had a 4.5 timeouts at the game. That stands for the particular team 2.25. But let's go with the results. Results by the game score. So when did the teams take the timeouts? The score on the left-hand side, when there is a 14, when they're leading by 14, only one time was taken. That is a 0.5% of all timeouts taken, and so on and so on. And we just go through to see when the actually time out is taken. So when we see it from 3 until -3, that makes over 70% of all timeouts taken in the competition. Yes, all together in all games during the European Championships. A short summary of that if the team is losing or winning by 1 goal, 36% of timeouts. When we put 1 goal extra, so plus minus 2, 53.5%. And as I said, plus minus 3 goals, it's 70% of timeouts. All timeouts taken were doing in these circumstances when one of the teams were leading or was losing by 3. Maybe I will provide you with some more details about the researchers, because he did, as I said, he analyzed all the timeouts. He took the play-by-play sheets, the official sheets of the European Championships that are provided by the organizer at the website, and he just found the timeouts when there was, and he analyzed at the very first moment, the very first action after the timeouts, of course in offense, very first time action in defense after the timeout. Yes, he compared that. And a part of that, he did check how did it result with the long term. So he did take 5 actions before the timeouts and compare it to the 5 actions after the timeouts. Yes, and he compared those 2 situations, which teams and when, in which circumstances, the team was doing better after taking a timeout. And it turns out, we will switch to that slide later on, just to know how, let you know how he made it. And here, the game periods. As I said, in very first 5 minutes, 2 times were taken, and then one of them resulted in the goal, all 7 meter, and another one with the losing the ball, so 50% of the efficiency. If we take a look, the most common time period when we take a time, it's not surprising, it's 55 to 60 minutes, so just the end of the game. That's 44 timeouts. And if we see at the efficiency of the timeouts from the 50 to 55 minutes drop down to 39%. So 20% less in efficiency in the end of the game. That's a issue that we should take under the consideration when we take timeouts in the end, that we can be much more efficient. Yeah, this 20% is in a situation when there is a crucial situation for the game, for winning or losing the game. So 20% less, that's something that we cannot afford, in my opinion. Yes, so we need to work on it. How to communicate in the state of mind of the players that they are highly motivated, excited because of the end of the game. And we got pretty much the same with the chart in here. The blue line, as we see in the end of the game, that stands for the first positive action after timeout. So I take a timeout. I do provide the players with the directions. I tell them what I want them to play, and then they do not, because the efficiency is as we see in here. Okay, and result by game time, and maybe just a summary. 37% of timeouts were taken in the first half, in the last 5 minutes of first half and last 5 minutes of second half. And then if we add to those periods one more period between 15th and 55th minute, that stands for 53% of all timeouts. And the first offensive action efficiency average is 45%. And that's what I start you out with this chart, the 20% difference in efficiency between 11th and 12th period of the game. That's a time of the game that is crucial for us. I mean, of course, when the game is not yet done, yes, when the game is tied, the result is tied. Okay, and results by team and first offensive action efficiency. So let's take how did the team did. If we take a look at those teams in blue, those are on blue are marked teams which has the first action after timeout taken is more than regular time. Yes, the average set play efficiency and average offensive efficiency. So they did better after timeout. The coach took a timeout, and suddenly, in the next action, it's in every game they made better than usual. But if we take a look at the ranking in the European championships, they are not the teams that took the very first places. The very first places were taken, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, by the teams who didn't make a very good result in first action after efficiency. So the point is that the very first action does not influence the final ranking. It's completely other situation when we take the 5 next actions. When we take under the consideration the 5 next results by 5 attacks after time out versus 5 attacks before timeout was team timeout, because that's what the rule says. Team timeouts were taken. And here we got when we got the plus is the 7 situations when they did better than before, when the following attacks, 5 following attacks after the timeouts were result better, and the minus is where the results were poorer than 5 last actions. 0 stands for the actions that was a draw, so there was the same efficiency before timeout and after the timeout. And the X stands for situations that we take a timeout, but we do not have full 5 actions. So the end of the game, let's say I take the timeout in 58th minute, and I got 2 actions left, 3 actions left, so the statistics didn't allow to put that into consideration. So that's how it looked, the ranking. Now if we see the percentage, the efficiency of the 5 next actions after timeouts, that stands for the final results of the European Championships. And pretty much the same with the 5 defense actions after team timeout. I would like you to take one thing under consideration. When we take a timeout, what do we actually talk about? Offense or defense, and why? What do you do, guys? Take the timeout. Where is harder to communicate with the team? When they in the offense or the defense? No difference? No difference at all. In my opinion, there is a difference, because when my team is on the defense, I have them, let's say, close to me. I can give the further instructions. Of course, there is a noise, a lot of noises at the hall, but I can provide them with the details when they play defense. When they play offense, it's highly complicated to give the instructions. So we should take more attention to give the offensive clues when the timeout is taken. Okay, that's enough with the statistics. I don't want to make you bored about the statistics. And that's now something that is really crucial for timeout efficiency. Meaning, we all have to know how to communicate under the pressure. It's not so easy as it seems to sometimes. I mean, communication is a process. It's a process that you can, if you're not able to give your thoughts to the players, well, you still have time to learn how to communicate. The simplest example for that the communication is a process, is the learning languages, yes? If I want to speak Portuguese, I will not go for one class for Portuguese and I will speak Portuguese. I will not go for the English and I will speak English instantly. I need to know how to communicate, how to build the sentences, how to use the words, how to use the phrases, and so on and so on. It's pretty much the same. It works with the communication issues. When the teams expect me to give some further instructions, I have to fulfill some requirements. So my communicate is crucial, is valid for them. For instance, if the weather like this is outside, if there was a guy come up through this door with the code in it and he start to say whatever, I think he would not be taken seriously right now, yes? Or if I would stand here with the clip claps or something, that I would not sound reliable, yes? There is a Joe Navarro book that I do recommend you as a coaches. That is, he wrote about the body language at work. So really nice book, Joe Navarro. Please be familiar with that. If you have a time to read it, it's worth reading that. Okay. When we talk about the communication, we got 2 types of communication. 2 types. The first one is based on the other one, the intrapersonal and the interpersonal. Let's start with the intrapersonal. I need to know who I am, who I want, what I want, and how I want it. I need to have a clear idea what we're gonna play against particular opponent. Yes, I need to provide the players with the details based on the video analysis of the reconnaissance of the opponent. Then, when I use the particular examples to the players, I sound reliable for them. I know what I want from them. I know how I want them to play in the defense and in the offense, and as much details as I can provide them with to let them play the way I want it. I want it. Not it cannot be okay. Let's play that way. That you will play on this position. You will play on this position, and so on and so on. Particular duties to distribute If I know what I want, then I can start to interpersonal communication. And here, this diagram in here, body language 55%, voice 38%, and words only 7%. What does it mean? It doesn't mean that words are completely skipped by the listener. It means that before he hears what I'm saying, he's looking at my body language, if I'm certain, if I'm confident, then my voice, the tone of voice, if I sound okay, if I really believe in what I'm saying, and then he will listen to the words. So all that stuff is very important. The body language and the things what I want to say have to go together. Yes. So again, John Navarro book, and there's a lot more about the body language that is really, really important. Okay, to know who we are, the intrapersonal communication. There are 6 points of successful communication. It's 6 points how to be the lethal communicator, good communicator. First, it sounds really simple, yes, but let's try to expand that a bit. Those points: assertiveness, authenticity, open-mindedness, empathy, clarity, and the listening skills. And we will go one by one. We'll talk a bit about each of these. Assertiveness. What's the reason we do actually communicate? Why do we communicate? We want to either give some information, so that's not really, we do not really like the people who just give the information around, just boast around and so on. But the very first thing that comes up to our mind when we talk about the communication is willing to initiate some actions. Look at the kids. We can really learn a lot by watching the kids. The kids are really assertive, especially when they are in the zone of the comfort zone. Yes. For those of you who has kids, you know what I'm talking about. Buy me this, and he will say, or she will say 100 times, and you will buy it. Ask homeless who has nothing to lose, and he will come up to 100 people with hands like this and give me money, give me money, give me money. They would not do it if they would not get in the money that way. Yes, so the assertiveness is crucial. It can happen for you in a variety of circumstances, like you are going with the team to the game, you are going to the restaurant, for instance, and there is, let's say, the very important game in front of us, and there is, let's say, French fries, yeah? And the time is high. We can always do something about that. We can ask the manager of the waiter, then his manager and manager, and then it turns out that the solution for the problem that occur is really, really simple, but we have to dig it. We have to know what we want, we have to be assertive. And it's the same with the communication. If we know who we are, what we want, we have to be assertive. We have to be assertive. And the reasons of communication: willingness to initiate the action, message sending, information sharing, emotion expressing, and influencing people. Yes, we do as coaches want to influence the people. We want to influence the players so they can become better players. They can play better. Okay, authenticity. Be authentic. That sounds also simple, but when you think about that, it's again. I take a kid example. Few weeks ago, when I was walking around with my little kids, I got 2 little girls. There was some limping guy, I mean the guy without the leg, yes, the homeless guy, without the leg. And my little daughter said, "Look, Daddy, this guy doesn't have a leg." And I said, "Shh, shh." I said, "Why? Doesn't he know that he doesn't have a leg?" He does know, right? So that's what I'm talking about. We want to lead the conversation the way so everybody smile. If I met you at the corridor, always smile. We don't know anyone, we don't know someone, but we keep smiling at him. We want to conversation to be fluent. Yes, But that's not always what we want to. That's not always what we are. We are not always in the mood to have a nice, smiling conversation. We need to be ourselves. If I don't want to talk, sorry, by my body language, I give the information that I don't want to talk because something bothers me, I have something on my mind, and so on and so on. There are many circumstances why we do not want to talk with each other. And we have to, someone who we want to talk with has to respect that as well. And what it takes to be authentic, define yourself and be true to yourself, bound the limits. Stick to the life rules, fight for what you believe in. They are really big sentences, but believe me, when the players see that you are not the guy that is at the place that is supposed to be, yeah? You are not authentic, you don't feel comfortable as a coach, because it sometimes happened, especially for the young coaches. I had this problem because I became a coach straight from the court, and I was coaching my friends, and that was not really comfortable situation for me when I could not buy players because I already had the team set, and I need to convert my my position, yes, from the player, from the friend, from the teammate to the coach, yes, and then that's really tough for the players. Are there someone who is in the same situation like right now, for instance, who used to be a player or just been player and now became a coach? Okay, no, so skip that subject then. No reason to talk about that. Okay. Open-mindedness. How to be open-minded? We need to enjoy the conversation, even though we do not agree with that, even though we do not agree with the point of view of someone who are we talking with. Because if we do not listen, we do not bound our borders. We do not bound it. We do not cross over the comfort line zone, and we have to draw conclusions. If not about what has been said, then we can draw conclusions about who has said that. Yes, we know that this is a kind of guy that we should not listen to or should not trust, and so on and so on. So we need to enjoy the conversation and take a conversation as a chance to get other views, because sometimes for those of you who works alone, who do not have assistant, sometimes the voice of the players has to be heard, has to be the things that player wants needs to be seen. So we cannot really close on those things that they need. Okay. And what I said, draw conclusions, consider the other ideas, not necessarily about what has been said, but who has said it. Then the empathy. We all know what the empathy is, but why do we need it? We do not, not everyone knows that the empathy has its background in physiology and biology of the human body. We all do have mirror neurons, which are the object of researches, many researches about the mirror neurons. And what basically is about is, if I see someone, basically what the mirror neurons are. If I see someone that, let's say, go that way without the shoes on, and he suddenly kicked the table, yes, and he hurt himself, I do feel it. Somehow I do feel it. Not the exactly way that he does, but I do know how it is. And the researchers went even further with that, and there are speculations that mirror neurons are important for helping us to understand the actions or intention of others and display emotions like empathy. That has a background in the past, when we need to understand what are the intentions of someone who's standing in front of us, whether he or it wants to eat us or greet with us, yes? And mirror neurons has their own values when it comes to learning new movement, yes? So I see the move that is to be performed, and I know how to repeat it, yes? So that also the case of the studies of mirror neurons. And the clarity. Sometimes it happens that we think that the information that we gave is enough. But that's not the matter of communication. The matter of communication is not what we say, but what will you understand. What do you understand? If I'm talking with some of my players, I will get back to that later on when I will give you in the end, I will give you the tips how to communicate within the 60 seconds time. How can I give the feedback that everything was understood and so on. But the clarity of the message is crucial. We have to make the sentence as if we had some more time, maybe at the course, because we are doing the course, and there is also similar thing that we're gonna talk about, I guess, tomorrow. I will try to give you some little workshop. How is it called, the rumor? How rumor is made? Yes. Okay. The best example for that is if you provide the first aid help. You know what I mean? Very first aid. There's a car accident, and you happen to be there, and you need to help someone. Yes, you know what I mean. And then, if you know the rules of the first aid, you are doing some necessary things with some unconscious guy, and you need someone to call ambulance. You don't shout. You don't say, "Someone call 911" or "Someone call ambulance." The rules that that have been said to such a people is, "Hey, what's your name? Tom. Okay, Tom. Call 911." That's a clear message. Not let someone call the 911. And so this is what I mean about the clarity of the message. Okay, and the listening skills. Listening skills. So that's what I start to talk about. Confirming receiving the information. Yes, when we talk about something, when we listen to someone, it would be nice to give him the feedback, to keep an eye contact. When we get back to eye contact later on, keep an eye contact and give him the feeling that we do understand what he's talking about. And the other way around, if we do not understand what someone is talking to me, do not really have a clear idea, then we can just show him by face. We do not have to say, "Excuse me, could you repeat?" and so on. Just giving the face. Then that's the information for someone who talks to us that the message was unclear. So instantly he tried to rephrase the sentence so the sentence is clear, and so those are the listening skills, that we not interrupting the things that someone are about to say, not interrupting, giving the instant information that this is not clear for us. You need to rephrase that, you need to develop the thing, you need to develop the issue, and so on and so on. Look at the military, in army. If there are any communicate being passed, you always have to confirm that you receive it. Yes? And there are in military, in army, there is no space to mistake. They really care about the safety issues, and that's why they have to, or the control of at the airport. There are no place for errors, no place for misunderstanding. So you have to confirm that you understood the message, understood what has been said. Okay, and now, crucial thing, communication within 16 seconds. 16 seconds, is it? Please tell me, guys, do we have 16 seconds? How much time do we need to take the players off the court? Excuse me? 50 seconds, yes? Okay, I said 5 to 10 seconds. It depends on the situation, yes? 5 to 10 seconds. Then, what's next? They come up to the bench and what? Excuse me? Very good. We will skip to that. Drink water. So, drinking water, physio, it's 5 up to 15 seconds, yes? Because maybe something has happened. And we got 20 seconds more. What else? Then, we have a time to get attention. Very good. Get attention. And that's the that's, I think, the most the hard thing to do, to get attention. I will show you the examples. How can they be emotionally involved in the game? So how excited and so on. And there's also trouble to get their attention, but it's very, very crucial to get it. So the team focus, that's why the question marks, because because we never know how much time we spend on getting their attention, getting their focus. And the content transfer, it stays from 20 up to 40 seconds. So we have to make a very clear message from 20 up to 40 seconds. And then maybe some changing of ideas with the players, because that's something that we can see also, that the players are involved in the timeouts, in setting the action, in initiation, and so on and so on. So if we are leading the team as a coaches, the way that we allow players to talk during the timeouts, we also have to take under consideration when the team timeout is taken. And the team ritual, yeah, so whatever we have to shout, we shout, and then we go to the field. If we're not on time on the court, going back to the rules, there's what? If we're not on time, the referee, in the 15 seconds, the referee blows the whistle. That is 10 seconds left, and then 10 seconds pass, and we are not ready to continue the game. That's what the rule says. Coach? Exactly, the yellow card, yes. Unless there was a yellow card before, so there's 2 minutes. So we have to take out into consideration that one also. Okay. So we already know that's not 16 seconds. And getting off the court, we can take team timeout in certain circumstances. I mean, directly after losing a goal, if we really do care about time. Yes, we lost the goal, immediately green card on the referee table. What's the disadvantage of this situation when I take the timeout directly? What's the disadvantage? Because I have to start from the center line. Yes? Much better idea is to provide the players with the instructions that they need to renew the game as fast as they can, renew the game, and then time out immediately. Then I can set the action by setting the players already on the 9-meter line. Yes? So I got those 10 meters that I do not have run through. I just have them at the position, and I can go instantly to setting the action, to setting the set play that we want to finish the opponent with. Yes? And the last situation is when we want to steal the time as much as we can, the Fabian tactics. When there's 2 minutes until the end of the game, we want to steal as much time as we can. We are looking with one eye where's the referee, whether is he ready to raise his arm, and then suddenly the green card lands on the table, the timeout, okay, and we got few seconds extra, because when we start the game, the referee will not immediately go, unless he already did it before we took it. Yes, before we took the timeout. Then we have those 6 passes that we all know about. So we have to take under consideration what's the result, what's going on the court, and so on, when to take the team timeout. Then drinking. Why drinking water? The next slide is President Trump in the background, so please don't be surprised. I could not, maybe I will put it and I will talk about that. I could not resist myself, because that was quite a funny situation. How does he drink? But what's about water? Thank you for the drinking water, because that's really, really important under a few circumstances. I mean, water is life. Total TBW, total body water, it's 60% of your body, of the female bodies, consists of water, and 70% of male body consists of water. Those 10% of difference is a fat tissue in women, in a female body. It's 10% difference of fat tissue. Then the human needs 1 milliliter per 1 kilocalorie food income. Yes, so and the players, when he does the training, they play the game, 1.5 until 2 milliliters per 1 kilocalorie food income. And what happened with that water? Let me just make it bigger. Sources of body water gains and losses at rest. That's a very important thing. So we can that we can intake the water by fluid and food intake. That's 90%, and then 10% is metabolic water production. So our body produce water in certain metabolic synthesis and so on. And then how do we lose water, but at rest? Water loss by skin and respiration, that's 30%. Sweat loss, that's only 5%. Please take attention to this value because it will go dramatically will go up in a second. Urine and fecal losses, that's 65%, so that's not much. And then what happens when we start to work out, when we start to train, when we start to play the game? It looks like this. Now we have a resting. Skin is pretty much the same, stay the same, but the percent, if this one in here is 15% of water loss during the exercise is 1.1, so we can skip it. This one, the respiration, pretty much the same from 15 to 7.5. We can skip it because we do not really care about that. But look here, sweating from 4.2, so the 5% of total water losses turns out to 1,290% of losing water during the exercise, during the game, during the training. So we really have to take that under consideration. So we need to use that time to refill the water or the hypertonic or isotonic drinks. I will tell the difference in a second. On the next slide and our kidneys doesn't work when the urine and the feces. Urine and the feces doesn't work. Our kidney doesn't work during the exercise, during the physical effort. I have a friend who is doing the canoeing, and he was about to canoe for 48 hours or something, and I was asking him, how about the physiological needs? And that's once on a time I stopped twice to get rid of the fluids, twice on 48 hours, because when we work, our kidneys does not work. Okay. And now what happened? How does it influence on how the water losses influence on the performance? Okay, physical performance. Maybe let's start out with the. I'm about to finish. Yes. Okay. Maybe let's skip to the most interesting thing. Losing 5% of body weight. When we saw that by sweating we can lose very, very high amount of water, that's 30% of our endurance abilities. So we have to keep that in mind. And we have some dehydration symptoms may occur. I'll just skip that because, am I right? What time we supposed to finish? Doesn't matter. Okay. The symptoms of dehydration, headaches, lack of concentration, delayed reaction time, all the things listed that we do not want at the court in our players' performance. All the things, look. Dehydration. I do not have to, especially when we are in Portugal, when there's a really, really hot outside, I do not have to tell you about the water, about the watering and so on. And American researchers' recommendation that the players should drink 400 up to 600 milliliters 2 hours before training the game, and should refill the water in the quantity of 150 up to 350 milliliters every 15 or 20 minutes of physical effort. So we have to take that under consideration while taking timeout. Sometimes there is a situation that we do not want to take a timeout because everything is doing fine. But we need to have that in mind that we have to take it. And the American researchers, well, how does it sound? The American researchers, yes, but it is that in the less than 1 hour training, water is just enough to keep the balance, water balance. But when we exceed 1 hour, we need to isotonic drinks. And can we not use this procedure of drinking. Can we use it somehow? When we have really excited players while drinking the water, look what's going on when I drink water. Look, like I want to drink. What I do, just after sip, I take in a deep breath, always. Look what's going on in the best performance on a very high level, and it's another discipline, but look what's going on. I don't know if you've seen the game against Spain, I guess you have. And the free kick, look, what does he do? Deep breath, deep. And that makes a concentration that let us calm down the nerves, keep focus, and so on. And I could not resist myself not to show those rituals like this. But if you've watched the game against Spain, it was the same. He was doing the free kick, he was standing and taking a few deep breaths in a row just to keep focus. And another football player, look the same, the breath. This is very important. Okay, he missed that, but you know, you got the idea, yes? Okay, the content transfer. Communication noise, but according to time I have to skip that. That there's plenty, internal and external. Internal are the ones that I cannot, the lack of focus, yes, don't have a team focused enough to keep, and external are the audience that makes physical noises. And now let's take to the examples. Get the team focused, that's what I said about, look, there's a coach during the game and have some problems with getting the attention.
Zobaczcie, do kogo mamy pretensje? Ja do ciebie, ty do mnie. Tam jest nasz przeciwnik. Taki gramy razem. Kurwa, jak ja mówię, to cicho. Tam jest nasz przeciwnik.
Ne, ja samo kada musimo dignuti, a ne šusti.
Słuchaj, co mówię.
Teraz ja jestem w
Tam jest nasz przeciwnik. Jeżeli tutaj razem nie staniemy, jeżeli nie będzie gadki w obronie, jeżeli nie będę już obrócony, jeżeli nie będę obudzony, że nie przebiega, to będzie z tego gówno. Jeżeli ja będę sobie biegał tam i tylko skakał i rzucał, to jest nic. Po co ćwiczymy coś? Trzeba wjechać do końca. Trzeba wjechać do końca. Trzeba dać siebie wszystko. Wtedy coś z tego będzie. Wtedy możesz grać 2, 3, hotel, co chcesz.
So we've all seen that the coach Venta has a really problem with the team that they arguing against each other. He needs to calm them down and keep the focus to say whatever he was about to say. So direct the message, and I hope the translation was right, because I asked my Portuguese student at the academy from the Erasmus to make it. I hope it's fine. If it is, you could hear that the coach says the young one, yes? He called one of the players the young one. So we have to direct the message. Look, if you are in the crowded restaurant, sitting around the table with your friends, and someone shouts your name from out of nowhere, you always will come up, will stand up, will raise your head, and look for what's going on. If we direct the message, we can get the attention particularly. And be precise. Say what, say how you want it. Be very precise. Say what you want, how do you want it, and what is about to be played. Because the lack of lack of details can lead to a situation like that, like in here. Another thing is to keep an eye contact. Keep an eye contact, something that boosts the channel of the communication. The channels of communication that we can use is a tactical pad, is the fingers that we use during the game, like we play 1, we play 2, we play 3, and so on. That's also the channel that we use. As many, we should use during the communication in the circumstances when the game is on, we should as many channels as we can. We have to show the fingers, we have to use the pads, and so on and so on. Not to let to situation like this, when one of the coaches in Poland took time out, and that's how did it look like. Can you do that with your team? Coach, would you do that? No? Probably not. You can do it, but only once. If you, because you give the information to the players, but that we all know what's not right, what's not working. Yes, but if you do it a second time and third time, and more, you will just be hilarious for them, and that's it. If you do it once, look at the players once again. Look at the players; they are really stressed by the situation. Yes, this girl back there just, picking her tooth and cleaning her tooth. They do not really know what to do. Okay, and think positive. Don't say, don't despise. Never say never. Don't say always, because our thoughts, our words are really crucial for the emotional thing of the players. Let me show you one of the last videos. How much the empathy and how much those kind of expression, when we use words to calm the emotion down, to build up, to do the team building and to motivate, how much does it count for the players? The little kid in here, I suppose some Asian country, wants the kind of, exam of gymnastics or something like that. Try to jump through the, how do you call it? I don't know what's going on, and he's not able to do that. And let's see what's going on. For those of you who has kids, I think that this can be quite emotional as well. Look at this kid, he doesn't want to be there. He's crying, he doesn't want to be there, but he knows that he has to. There's very often this situation at the court that there's a game doing that way that we cannot stand up. And then we need some support from the coach, from the teammates. So the efficient way of communication. And then it turned out that everything is doable. Now something that refers to the timeout, let's say. Giving some support, some reasons to believe that it can be done. And he made it. I hope that was still the same guy that did not replace him, yes, but you got the idea, yes? And another hint, use the range of channels. That's what I said about it's hard to not pay attention. That's completely other thing that I'm going to talk about, but we do not have time, so let's keep it at the background. But it's a completely different thing when you touching someone and try to say something to him, than just throwing the communicate. But we can do it also that way, yes? The non-verbal ways of communication. Okay, that's it. And with the attitude, keeping those all things together, one more video, really short, really big moment for the Polish handball in the national level. I would like to show you the timeout of Bogdan Venta in the semi-final game, on the quarter-final game against Norway, Poland against Norway, and the timeout is recorded. Sorry for the quality, but could not get any better. The situation is like that. There is a draw right now, and with the draw situation, the Germany team was doing the semi-finals. When we won, in case of our winning, we go to the semi-finals, and in case that Norway wins, they will go to the semi-finals. And let's try to hear what was said in the timeout.
Jak prowadzą siódmego zawodnika, mają 15 sekund. Przerywać i mamy pustą bramkę. Spoko, spokojnie, mamy dużo czasu. Dawaj, wolimy to.
No i zobaczymy, jak zagrają. Na pewno długo, dokładnie. Tracą piłkę, atak, pusta bramka, gol, gol! 31 do 30 dla Polski! 4 sekundy do końca!
Yeah, it's funny thing. Look at that guy. He kissed the line and he went to kiss the goal then. Anyway, what was said? What was said? Again, I hope the translation was good done by my student. But it was said, we have 50 seconds. Clear message. We have 50 seconds. There's plenty of time. That's the all time that we need, actually. Yeah? That was the really important information in that case. Another important situation was that the information was that they pull out the goalie. And we just have to stop, and the goal is empty. He didn't say, throw the ball onto the goal, because that sometimes may fail, yes, if you know what I mean. In this particular situation, when it's about going up or not, this is very important. He didn't give the information, he didn't give the duty for particular players, pass the ball to him and to them, and then he can score. Yes, there was not too detailed situation. There was a situation described in my opinion, the best way that he could, even though he was really emotionally involved. He at the very first moment, I believe, when I was watching that game and I was looking at his behavior and his body language, he wasn't sure what to say to the players, and that came out naturally. And he's the coach Venta is a really good speaker, and to prove that he's now the politician in the Euro Parliament. So. That's something that came out of him naturally. Okay, that would be it. If there are any questions, some opinions, don't hesitate. No, thank you very much. And sorry for taking the time.